Greetings, people. It's Mr. PDT yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. On this particular episode to come, I have to be wearing a vest because this matter is very, very hot. My Zambian people, the God-loving nation, how you dare now? The Christian nation. Zambians take pride of the fact that they are a God-loving nation. The moment you try to talk about the charlatans in Zambia, the Mugu followers, the gullible followers always jump in front and say, no, leave us alone. We're a Christian nation. We're a God-loving nation. But now if you look at the the principalities that are leading Zambians to God, that's when you realize that ignorance is a disease. And the cost of ignorance is very hefty. You pay a very steep price for ignorance. That's why we came up with the Enlightenment series, so that we can help you question your hypothesis, so that we can inspire some critical thinking and observations. Without further ado, my Zambian people, how are you today? How is your family? There's a particular general, a man of God, a highly esteemed man of God called, Bishop the General or General Bishop or something like that. Their names are not relevant, but it's the story that is more important. So before we even start analyzing the story, let's tell the story. This is how the story unfolds. There's a particular woman, a God-loving woman from Zambia, who's affiliated to this shrine. I call them shrines, not churches. These are not churches. They are all shrines. Before I even go any further, let me just make a disclaimer so that those that are catching me for the first time, those that are watching me for the first time can know where I'm coming from and where I'm going and where I'm standing on and what I stand for. I believe for a fact that in Zambia, there is nothing that calls itself. Pay very close attention to the description. There is nothing that calls itself a prophet that is hearing from God. Nothing. I know Zambia, you're a God-loving nation, but anything that comes in the name of being a prophet in your nation or that is currently operating and residing in your nation, claiming to be hearing from God, that thing is an imposter. It does not know what it is doing. It has no connection with the divine. It does not have any revelation about the prospects of your future. It will come and lie to you that God said. It will come and lie to you that for God to do this for you, do A, B, C, D, and E. So be very much aware, my people, in Zambia, because you're one of the most gullible nations under the sun. After Nigeria, that is. You fall for anything. Zambia is literally a hotspot of charlatanism. Now, any charlatan that wants to make quick money, a quick buck, goes to Zambia, goes and mount a pulpit, and it will fill a stadium, that charlatan. Because Zambians are very, very gullible. I know this might offend their delicate sensibilities, but it is the truth. Me, I don't beat around the bush. So if you're meeting me for the first time, you might feel offended at some point. But the other thing about me is I just don't care. I just say the things as they are. Let's not waste time and get into the matter. So this woman, she's affiliated to a shrine, to a particular shrine led by John the General. He's a bishop or he's a prophet, whatever. This woman has a condition. She has a problem. Or she had a problem. I don't know if it was solved. You understand why I say so as the story unfolds. So she told her pastor that, Papa, every time I conceive, I tend to have a miscarriage. I do not know what is wrong with the fruit of my womb. Papa, can you please pray for me? Can you please help me, man of God, and deliver me from this burden or from this generational curse? Because now there's a terminology that they use to describe all these burdens that people have so that they can have weight. So that when the time comes for them to place a demand on the gullibles will not resist but give in or give away anything that is in their possession. The woman goes and cries out to the father, to the pastor. The pastor said, no, that's a small matter. All I need to do is to come to your house and pray in your house. The woman said, okay, my reverend father, when do you want to come? A date was set, which means there was a communication between the pastor and the woman. I do not know as yet if the husband was also part of the conversation, or if he was aware that the pastor is coming to the house to deliver his wife from this generational curse or from this burden of having miscarriages every time she conceives. Fast forward, the appointed day came, and the pastor calls the lady at 9 a.m. This is all according to the report that was made by the lady that is now claiming to be a victim of rape. And the pastor calls, "Madam, I'm going to be coming to your house at 1 p.m. to pray for you. So be ready." Fast forward, 1 p.m. arrived, and the pastor also arrived. But the pastor was not alone. He was with his armor bearer. You know, these pastors, they barely walk around. They barely walk alone. They walk with their armor bearer or their protocol. They arrive to the house, and the pastor says, "I want to see the rooms of this house so that I can pray." The pastor goes around the rooms, the bedrooms and stuff. And when they got to the bedroom, the main bedroom, according to the report that was written by the wife, the pastor forced himself on this woman. And he threatened the woman that if you dare make a noise or if you resist, I will shoot you. This is according to the woman. This is the side of the story of the woman, based on the statement that she wrote at the police station. During the act, it's happening. There's no noise that was heard, apparently. Even that guy, remember the pastor came with a guy, and the guy is still in the sitting room. The husband all of a sudden arrives. Where's the husband coming from? That's another thing you should be asking. How did it so happen that the husband just shows up? And why was the husband not there if he knew that the pastor was coming to pray for them? So the husband arrives, and the husband is shocked. He's saying a particular gentleman in the sitting room. So maybe the husband knew. So he just assumed that, okay, the pastor might be praying for my wife. Because, of course, the husband had already seen the cars of the pastor outside. He greets the gentleman in the sitting room, and he proceeds to the bedroom. And he finds the pastor busy, naked, with his wife, doing the act. The story is not adding up, but we are going to crack it down. We are going to break it down in the episodes to come. The husband runs and locks the gate. As he runs to lock the gate, the guy, I do not know how the guy in the living room also ran out of the house. But apparently there's a video circulating of the pastor jumping the fence naked. So I do not know why the husband did not lock the bedroom door and rushed to go and lock the gate. It's not clear there, but the statement says it as I have just put it. So the pastor was recorded jumping naked, and he escaped the scene. And that guy was in the living room also escaped the scene. And they left a phone and their Chrysler parked outside. In their clothes, in the pastor's clothes. And a case was opened. And the wife wrote a statement that she was forced and she was threatened to give in, or else she was going to be shot. So that's the story, my people. Now there are things that I want us to look at in the next episodes, that is. At the moment, just tell me what you think about what transpired, because that is the main story. Now, the things that I want us to look at is, was the woman raped? Or this act was consensual? Did the woman lie that she was forced so that she can save her marriage, so that she can pin it all on the pastor? She could have lied so that the husband doesn't divorce her. In my own opinion, I'll tell you in the episodes to come what I think, because we have to break it down. We have to look at the wife's side of the story and the pastor's side of the story. And the pastor has not yet given his side of the story. And the truth. Because there are always three sides of the story. His side of the story, her side of the story, and the truth. So based on all this that we have unfolded, in another school of thought to just entertain, this all seems like it's a coincidence. Could it have been a setup to bring this John General down by some other third parties? All these are things that we need to look at. So what are the implications of all these things? Is the pastor going to be arrested for rape? Or the pastor can prove that this was not rape, this was consensual? Or someone wanted the pastor to go down and they set him up in a way of this nature? Think around it, my people. The answers are already there, and we are going to come back and break it down and crack it open so that Zambians can be aware But when it comes to these women that go to these shrines, I don't trust them as well. These women are capable of anything, as much as these pastors are also capable of everything. So now tell me what you think. Part 2 is coming, and part 3 and part 4, and we seal it, and you will know what happened. And I'm sure the pastor left his phone at the house, so there must be evidence in that phone if it will be disclosed. Till I meet you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series, it's Mr. PDT. I'm out for now.